All right, hey, listen, so you've been advertising your listing like crazy. You want to get the seller to where he wants to be, from point A to point B. He wants to leave Los Angeles and sell his house, and he wants to get to his retirement area, which is Hawaii. Hawaii, man. But the deal is this, everybody wants your listing. So you get a phone call from a buyer's agent, and they say, hey, listing agent, I got an offer for you. You can expect it in your email soon. Sure enough, sitting right there in your email box is an offer from buyer number one. And within 30 minutes, you get another phone call. Are you the listing agent from 1234 Main Street? And you say, yes, that is me. I'm going to send you an offer. And you're going to tell them you already have an offer. They're going to say, no big deal. I'm sending mine over right now. Now you have two offers. And within the following day, you get offer number 3. Somebody else interested in the property. So now what do? You got 3 strong offers. Which one are you going to advise your seller to accept? Poof! Gun goes off and the horse race begins. Who's gonna win this race? Factor number 1, the offer amount. Of course, it's obvious logic. Which one is the highest bidder? But what do we do if they're all the same? All 3 are $1 million offers. So far, it's a tight race. So we go to factor number 2. We gotta separate these horses. We gotta separate these offers. Factor number 2, wait for it, is this offer a cash offer or is it an offer that's going to be financed by a lender? We have to separate that. All cash or a loan. Is it a big deal? I'll get to that at the end of the video, so hang tight. But that's a determining factor when it comes to selecting an offer. Do we want an all cash or do we want a loan? Does it really matter? Let's assume they're all cash offers. Not a big deal. Or let's assume they're all financed offers. They're all the same. So let's move on. In the horse race, it's still a tie. Factor number 3 is the amount of the deposit. Which one is giving a healthy deposit and putting it in escrow, willing to put skin in the game, and which offer is giving a minimal deposit, putting minimal skin in the game. Now check this out. Listen carefully, man. When you're making an offer, you want to impress the seller. You want to say, hey, man, select mine. You want to get their attention with the price, with the financing, and that deposit. You saying, you know what, I'm willing to give some of my cash over to escrow. That if I fail as a buyer, if I don't come through as I'm supposed to per the contract, you can have my deposit. So what is a good amount for an earnest money deposit? Now, typically it's from 1% all the way up to 3%. Could be more. There is no set amount. But typically, keyword here is typically it's 1 to 3%. Now, on $1 million, let's do the math. On $1 million, it would be between $10,000 and $30,000. So let's assume all of these offers, these 3 offers, they went all out, man. They gave the whole 3%. All 3 of them want to give $30,000 and put tons of skin in the game. Still a tie. But that's a determining factor. So we got to go to factor number 4, which is seller concessions. And this is typically where we separate the offers. Now, what the hell am I talking about seller concessions? Now, the word concessions, what does it mean? Gift, a gift from the seller. This is the buyer saying, yo, seller, I'll take your house. I'll give you $1 million, all cash. $30,000 down payment on $1 million house. I want it bad. However, concessions, seller, I want you to give me a gift. Now, typically the gift that the buyer requests from the seller is, hey, seller, please pay my closing costs. If they're getting a loan, please pay my closing costs. And the typical amount of closing costs that the buyer would want from the seller is typically, wait for it, typically, don't let me lose you, is 3% of the purchase price. $30,000. Now, if one of the buyers, one of the offers isn't asking for $30,000 and another offer is asking for $30,000, we've just separated them. That's a huge amount. Would you give away $30,000? I wouldn't. And I don't expect you to. That separates the great offers, the clean offers, squeaky clean offers from those that look and sound appealing but kind of give you a sucker punch towards the end. And nobody wants to be sucker punched. Now, let's assume all 3 offers are the same. No concessions. And we got to go to the 5th factor. Now, the 5th factor is contingencies. We've talked about contingencies before, but I want you to carefully understand this one. Now, contingencies is this. Let me set the table for you. Let me set it nice and pretty. Got it? With the turkey and mashed potatoes and yams, the whole, let's assume it's a nice Thanksgiving. Let me set it up for you. $1 million, just exactly what the seller wanted. All cash offer. 3% down payment, that's $30,000. No concessions. Buyer says, I'll take the house. You don't have to give me a damn thing, Mr. Seller. Just accept my offer. But contingencies. But the buyer comes in with the only way I could buy your house, I'll buy your house, only if. Remember contingencies. I'll buy your house only if. So it's all contingent on the buyer selling their current property. Whoa, that just threw a whole wrench in this thing, man. You're telling the seller, yo seller, I'll give you everything you want and more. Wow, the seller's excited. I'll give you everything you want and more. Hold on, pump the brakes, Mr. Seller. But I gotta sell my house in order for me to buy your house. I'm gonna take all the proceeds from my house, the sale of my house, to purchase your house. Let's talk about that for a second. How's the seller gonna feel about that? Now, whose timeline are we on now? Whose train are we riding on? We're not even riding on the seller's train anymore. We're riding on the buyer's train. We have to wait and sit for the buyer's sale. Nobody wants to wait around and sit, not in a market that's as hot as it is today. So what does the seller do? He says, yo, Mr. Buyer, you had me until you got me up that one. You had me, I was digging you, Mr. Buyer. I was digging it until you just gave me that contingency. That you got to sell your property in order to buy mine. You're out of the picture. Select another one from the other two offers. Nice and simple. Now, those are the 5 factors that help you identify which one would be the best for your seller. I want to give a footnote on number 2, which is cash versus finance. That's a big deal. Listen, I've been doing real estate a mighty long time. Here comes my opinion when it comes to cash versus financing. Now, I've seen a lot of cash buyers in my day. A lot of cash buyers believe that they deserve a discounted price. After all, they are bringing in cash. Now, in my opinion, whether the seller accepts all cash from a buyer or accepts cash from a lender, does it really matter at the end of the day? Isn't cash cash? Now, sure, there might be some hurdles when it comes to the financing portion. Let's assume worst case scenario. The buyer loses their job and no longer is qualified for the loan. That hurts. Sure, it's an obstacle. What can the seller do? Put the house back on the market. It'll sell quickly when it comes to it being a seller's market. When a seller's market, put it back on the market, put it back on the shelf, it'll sell again. Another hurdle, if you're getting financing, it doesn't appraise. And when it doesn't appraise, you got a lot of back and forth, extra work, could be a headache. Seller might say, you know what, I don't want headaches, I'll take the cash. A discounted price for a cash buyer or a higher price for a financed. That's probably the biggest decision the seller's gonna have to make. $1 million cash or $1.1 million financed. What do you think is better for the seller? If the seller wants top money, I wouldn't mind taking the loan at all. Take the offer that's financed. I want to get my seller the most money possible. Let me say it again. Your job is to get the seller the most amount of money possible. One more note, don't be fooled. I've seen this happen many times. You'll get offers that come on in, be right in front of you on the table. And it's a buyer willing to pay all cash. And they give you proof of funds. They say, I have the cash. I'm not making this up. Here's my bank statement. I have $1 million in the bank. Sounds great. But the minute the escrow process begins, that cash buyer changes his decision and he decides to go with a loan. And he does the old switcheroo. Not cool. Not nice. It's happened to me before. Be aware. Be aware. Cash, financing, can it be complicated? Can be. Should it be? Absolutely not. Make the best decision for who? Yeah, your seller. Hope this helps you out. Hey, listen, I know we touched a lot on this video. The whole idea is to educate you as best as we can. We touched on concessions. We touched on closing costs being the biggest concession. Take a look at this video right up here. It explains clearly what closing costs are. Got it? Hey, listen, we hope to see you next week.